This is our reverse punch. So a reverse punch is basically the opposite of our straight punch. Whatever hand is your straight punch when you're in a stance, the opposite hand throwing the same punch is your reverse punch. So if I get into my fighting stance, backhand, or the one that's behind me on my body, on my back leg, the one that I have farther away from the camera, is going to be my reverse punch. So I'm just going to throw that punch straight forwards at my target, assuming that I'm aiming for someone the same size as me, right at my nose. Now, a couple things to keep in mind for a reverse punch. It's just like my straight punch, I want to make sure I rotate my wrist as I throw that punch. I also want to make sure that I lift my back heel up off the ground. If I don't lift my heel off the ground and keep my feet planted, then how far I can rotate is limited by the flexibility of my hips. So I want to make sure I lift that heel so that I can open up and turn my body as I throw that punch. So make sure we reset back into the same position. I also want to make sure that I am rotating that body, so getting my shoulders rotated so that they are passing the center line with my other shoulder. If I'm not doing that, then one punch is going to have one range and one punch is going to have another. So if I don't rotate my shoulders, my straight punch goes this far, my reverse punch only goes this far. I want to make sure that where my straight punch goes, I rotate, playing at the same height, the same distance, on my reverse punch. Other than that, it's pretty much the exact same technique. Now, you might hear me say that our straight punch is our speed punch and our reverse punch is our power punch. That's because I have a lot more body weight traveling through that strike. I have a lot more movement to power up that strike than I do with my straight punch. And we would be pretty much correct to say that the reverse punch is more powerful, but the straight punch is faster and it's harder to read because there's less body movement required and therefore less tell that you're about to do it. So one more time, a reverse punch if I switch to the other side. Now with this hand. For this purpose, I am keeping my hand up, but you might see us drop our hand down to our hip here. Just make sure you're not doing that sparring, or you're going to get hit. That was our reverse punch.